says it's still connecting. Oh, hello. A dash of magic for tonight's class. So I'm Jay Diamond, love and intimacy coach. If you're new here, do say hello. I love to hear from you. So as a result of working with me, stuck singles find their soulmate and great couples get juicy and reconnected again. And tonight we're going to talk about why your true love isn't manifesting quickly. Hi, Marina, how are you? And this is something I'm really passionate about. This is something I really love to talk about because I come across a lot of people. I love working on manifestation. So I am a big Abraham Hicks fan, have been for a long time. It's a very steady part of my, if not every single day, weekly routine. Listening to Abraham, thinking about the law of attraction, feeling into my own state of manifestation, watching how I'm creating life, whether that's for the great or for the not so great. And we're going to talk about manifestation in terms of love this evening, because we all love a bit of love, and I really want to help you to manifest your true love soulmate in 2020, because the world needs more authentic love, right? How wonderful it feels when you really connect with that person that is your true authentic love. So let's get straight to it. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box, because I'd love to hear from you. But the biggest block to people quickly manifesting true love, even if they're doing which I saw someone talking about the other day, a new moon manifestation work, which I love working with the moon. Even if you're doing a crystal healing grid, and even if you look in the mirror and you do a spell and then you turn around anti-clockwise 3 times, and even if you're doing your affirmations every day in front of the mirror, and you're determined that, you say that you really want to create love and it's not coming, or it's coming inconsistently, meaning it comes and it goes, it comes and it goes, it comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes. It's because there is somewhere in you fear. There is a part of you that doesn't actually believe that you can really, truly have it. Or that if you do have it, that something bad might happen. Now, when I speak to my clients about this, usually they'll say, no, that doesn't apply to me. I've been trying to manifest my soulmate for years and I really want it. And then, of course, I know that you want it. And, so that doesn't apply to me. But don't shoot the messenger. But it probably does apply to you. If you've been desiring something for a long time and it's not showing up in your reality. So it's like when I talk to people about manifesting money, what you believe very objectively is reflected in your bank account. What you believe about money is reflected in your bank account. Either it's stacking up, or you're paying off debts, or you're saving, or money's coming in through PayPal, through the bank, through your wages, or whatever. Or it's not. And it's the same with love. What you believe, truly believe about love will show up in your reality. And it's really important to pay attention and to, instead of being upset or hurt or, beating yourself with a stick because things aren't working out the way that you want, the best thing you can do is take that information and say, okay, so what's not working here for me? And how can I fix it? What can I do about this? Yeah. So if there's part of you that doesn't believe or is afraid, then the work that you really need to do is not to just keep doing one ritual after the other, one manifestation. I know some women who they're continually doing love spells, and they're not getting to where they want, and they wonder why. And it's because at that kind of core place, they still have the fear. And what happens is when you have that fear and it's stronger than the desire, then it knocks the desire out of the way, it knocks your manifestation out of the way, or you get mixed results. Makes sense? So you get someone who's kind of part of what you're trying to create, but isn't the whole deal. So maybe he looks just how you want, or she looks just how you want, but then you find out that personality-wise, it's a definite no-go. Or they've got a very great outlook in life that you really want, but can you see I've broken my cup, but because I love it so much I couldn't get rid of it. But because you're not fully clear in your vibration, meaning you don't truly 1,000% believe it, maybe they leave the country the next month. So a lot of the work that you need to do, if you have been working on manifesting, you believe in manifestation, and a lot of people who follow me are very much into that kind of stuff. I put a little something up on Facebook the other day and I said, do you believe it works in manifestation when it comes to love? And lots of people said yes, I really believe that it works. But I also come across a lot of people who get disheartened because maybe they did one thing to manifest their partner once. They say, oh, it didn't work straight away, so I'm not doing it anymore. I'm like, okay. So the real big piece to calling in your soulmate quickly, instead of thinking about, and this is going to be a bit of a mindset shift for some of you, but bear with me, instead of thinking about all the million ways that you can manifest your soulmate, start to have a look at what's in the way. What could be in the way? So what do you think might be in the way of people, anybody, a person, yourself, a friend, of someone really believing that they can have the love that they desire? One of the things that I come across with my clients who've been single for a long time, and perhaps they're sort of maybe they want to really settle down and quite a few years have gone by and they're getting a little bit older, or maybe they've been through a bad divorce, is that they are so focused on that they haven't got what they want, that's the story they continually tell themselves. So they're always telling the story, love doesn't happen for me, love is really hard, everyone else is settled down except for me. And what that does is it puts them in a vibrational place, an emotional state of disempowerment. So instead of feeling hopeful about love, and that's the way they're going out dating, that they feel hopeful, that there is somebody for me, they've started to, over time, and often because of experiences that they've had, they start to lose hope. They start to feel disempowered. They start to feel kind of despondent, or they start to worry and they start to doubt. And the problem with that is you can't get to where you want to get to from that emotional state. So there's something called a vibrational scale, which I urge you to Google. I wish I could sort of hold up a picture and show you. And there's a vibrational scale, and it talks about the range of human emotion. And the set point in the middle is actually boredom. So before it goes down, you're at boredom. Before it goes up, it's at boredom. Okay, so I'm going to share it a little bit with you. So as the downward spiral, the emotions go down from boredom, it starts with then pessimism and frustration and impatience. And when you're starting to get into those vibrational states, what happens is you often start to move down, unless you catch yourself, unless you talk yourself out of it, unless you are focused on this kind of work where you're being intentional about creating love, where you're being intentional about creating your life. Often once you get into one of those kind of bad moods, it starts to spiral. It's like, have you ever got out of bed in the morning, maybe you've had some bad news, or you've read a text and it's really pissed you off, or you've got out of bed and then you've stubbed your toe, and it just seems like everything from that point forward is just made to piss you off. It's like, and then you drop your handbag on the floor and everything falls out and you're already late and you've just put a brand new pair of shoes on and the contents of your powder have gone all over your new shoes, and then you start to get angry. Maybe you jump very quickly from like frustration to anger, which is down the emotional scale. And further than that, then you've got revenge, hatred, jealousy. And then right at the bottom of the vibrational scale, meaning the bottom of the emotional set point, is fear, grief, depression, powerlessness. And this is where shame sits. So a lot of the work that I do one-to-one in my online course Cherished is to uncover and kind of like to find these places of hidden shame and love them back into beingness, so that you can find these little pockets of insecurity, of shame that usually we don't look at, we fear looking at, we repress. But that's the stuff, these pockets of emotion that are getting in the way of you manifesting the life you really deserve. So sometimes that shame can be, you know, I'm 38 years old and I should have been married by now, and my parents say I should be married, and my friends are all happy. Why am I not happy? And there's not just a frustration in that, there's actually like a secret shame. And that secret shame holds us back from actually quickly manifesting what we desire. Because in that shame, there's a part of us that doesn't feel worthy even of having what we actually want to call in, which is great love. Because we start to question ourselves. We start to say, is there something wrong with me? And that's where shame comes from. Is that kind of questioning of, am I good enough? And that's right at the bottom of the vibrational scale. So the reason I'm telling you this is because, again, I speak to a lot of ladies who are so focused on just saying the good things and just looking at the good things, they completely sidestep any of the difficult work. But it's kind of when you start to dig a little bit deeper that you find the treasure that's been getting in your way for so long. And once you clear that stuff, I can tell you, manifestations come in so quickly, because it's like, you know, when you pull back an elastic band, it's like as soon as that lets go, poof, everything starts to come to you so much quicker, because the things that were holding you down aren't holding you down anymore. So then you go into a place of kind of hopefulness. And so then you start moving up the vibrational scale, the emotional guidance scale. And like I say, please do go and Google this. So from about number 6 on the vibrational scale, which is hopefulness, 6 and upwards towards joy. So you've got like positive expectation, passion and enthusiasm, and right at the top, joy and appreciation. From 6 upwards to joy, that's where it's the strongest place for you to manifest from. Just pop me a message in the chat box if you're kind of with me so far, or if you've got any questions, because I don't want to lose you on this. I want to make sure that you've got everything. Yeah, I can't see. I'm using this sort of streaming app, so I'm not quite sure. I can see that lots of you are watching, but I can't see any comments. So here's the thing. Once you have a look at that vibrational scale, you can start to see, what do I really believe about love, and what are the emotions that come up for me when I'm thinking about love, when I'm talking about love. Am I in a state of true hopefulness, or do I kind of flip-flop from overwhelm to hopefulness, overwhelm to hopelessness? Because often that's what happens. We kind of flip-flop between the two, you know. We're kind of like, okay, I'm here, then something happens, now I'm here, then I get myself back, then I'm here. And you want to be, obviously, much more in the hopefulness than you are in overwhelm or frustration or anger or shame. Hi, Freya. So the way to do this is to, one, tell the truth about how you're feeling, and then do the actions that it takes to move you up the vibrational scale so that you start to feel more hopeful. Now, in my program Cherished, the one thing I do very early on with the girls is I teach them to write down, create like a journal where they're noting down all the positive things that they see, hear and feel about men. And I'll ask them to tell the universe, okay, universe, show me. show me all the good stuff about men. And then I get them to write it down, because it's really, really important that you start to notice those good things. Why? Because appreciation, which is what you're doing when you're noticing the good things about someone, and you're saying thank you for it, or you're kind of feeling happy and warm because of it. Appreciation is the top of the vibrational scale. So if you're in overwhelm, if you're in frustration, if you're kind of feeling a bit meh, you start to look for things to be appreciative for, then it's going to move you to a better feeling place a lot quicker. And from that more hopeful place, that's when your manifestations come in quicker. Does that make sense? I hope that it does, because I want you to get this. Hi, Fazer. So that's really the quickest way to go. Now, what happens is, in the beginning, when you're feeling kind of negative about love, when you're not in a good place, it can feel very hard to reach those places where you feel appreciative of men, where you can see great things about men, where you're really believing that there are so many great things about men, because you're in this lower vibrational place, the lower emotional place. And from that lower emotional place, that's where all your thoughts start to come from. And so you might just start off by being appreciative for what you've got in your life. That's got nothing to do with love. If that's going to trigger you, you just say, okay, so I'm feeling happy about, I'm really happy and grateful for, and it could be, I'm really happy and grateful for my bed. I'm really happy and grateful that I've got Netflix, so I can just sit here and binge with Netflix for a while and eat ice cream because I don't feel great. And then from there, you start to move from there. It feels really good, and I really appreciate that I've got friends to talk to. And I really appreciate that I found out about this person now rather than later, because I think I dodged a bullet. And then eventually, you'll start to feel better, start to feel better. Often you'll go to bed that night, you'll wake up the next day feeling a little bit better again. And it might take a few days, sometimes it might even take a few weeks for you to come back to a place where you're kind of on an even keel again. And then you start to look into more things to appreciate, and your vibration will raise. And this is like the most important thing, because, you know, I was in some sort of Facebook group recently, and I saw a lady who'd been doing these manifestation rituals, and she said, I'm not sure what's happening. It was great that she reached out. Hi, Claudia. She said, I've been doing these manifestation rituals, and I keep manifesting these dates, but then they're all cancelling. Now, to me, I've been doing this work for years, and I work, you know, with regards love and relationship, and I coach women and men on creating their true, authentic love. And so, you know, often I'll just kind of chip in to try and help a sister out. And so she said, this lady had said, should I just keep carrying on manifesting? So, of course, lots of other ladies were in that group, and they were saying, oh, yeah, it's them, it's not you, which is what everybody says. It's them, it's not you. And, you know, you kind of, obviously they're not the right ones for you. So what you want to ask is, why does she keep manifesting the wrong ones for her over and over and over again? And so this lady was saying, just keep trying, just keep doing the rituals. That's what I'm going to do. So, of course, I went in there and said, well, listen, honey, like if you keep manifesting something that's not right for you over and over again, the universe is giving you a message. Receive the message that you've been given. Something's off in your vibration. That if you're, you know, her desire is so strong. So, you know, we talked earlier about desire and fear. Her desire is obviously that little bit stronger than her fear. And so it's coming, but the fear vibration is kind of knocking it out of the way. And she's manifesting from a place that's not 100% in alignment with what she really wants. So she's kind of getting part of a desire, and then it goes. Part of the desire, and then it goes. So she's getting the experience of bringing in a date, but then it never manifests. And so I said, what could be holding you back? What might the fear be? Have you been through a bad breakup? Has something happened where you started to lose faith in love? And I think she said something around a breakup a while ago. And I said, well, if you look at that and you do the work on that and release that, you'll manifest so much quicker, because obviously your desire is so strong that she was quickly manifesting these dates, but it's not sticking because you've got a block. Okay, and when you look at that block and you do the work to get rid of that block, that's when your manifestations come in quickly. Okay, so I've got this amazing free 5-day challenge coming up on the 15th of December, where I'm going to teach you about how to manifest your soulmate quickly for 2020. So let me just put the link in here, and I'll put it round by the video later on, but I'll put it there for now. And you can sign up for that. It starts 15th of December. So I'm going to teach you a ritual to get confident, to get dating confident really quickly, because that's really important. Because if you're not confident before you go on your dates, I don't know if you've ever been there, where you start saying silly things and doing stupid things and getting so nervous that when you show up, you're not even yourself. So we're all going to do vision boards together, but like supercharged vision boards that's going to quickly draw in that soulmate. And I'm also going to teach you more about what The Secret doesn't talk about, which is this stuff around eliminating blocks that are holding back your manifestation. So it like triples the speed of your manifestations for love in 2020. And then I'm going to teach you how to get crystal clear clarity on what you want, so that the universe can serve it on a golden platter. Because it's really important that you're clear about what you want. Otherwise, you will draw different kinds of partners in, but they're not necessarily going to be what you want. Like if you're not super clear, you might manifest a soulmate who loves you, but he might be a dog. It can easily be a dog and not a human. So, I mean, that's very possible, but we want to get super clear, like much more clear than that, so that the universe knows exactly what to bring you, and that you know how to recognize it when it arrives, because you're already in touch with the vibrational essence of it. Does it make sense? So yeah, I don't know if this lady ever did actually go and do the work to have a look at what was holding her back with her ex. But this woman who'd been advising her to just keep manifesting, kind of carried on this comment and said something like, yeah, I think I might have, some fear around manifesting with my ex because of XXX. She sort of listed these things that were quite big things. And then she finished that sentence with, I'm just going to keep doing the manifesting rituals. And I was like, girl, this is going to take you a long ass time, and it doesn't need to. But, some people don't want to hear it. I'm here to teach you the quickest and the best ways to move yourself towards true love as fast as possible, in the easiest ways. And it's true that some people just want to kind of stay in this really sweet comfort zone where it feels like you're doing what you want. And that's how you can tell someone's really not ready, because they kind of do just the bits that feel good, but they're not actually getting anywhere, but they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And this is why I do the programs. Claudia, do you remember my situation with my guy? I don't, love. I took 200 women through a process a couple of months ago, so I don't, I'm afraid. And that's why I teach things like the dating masterclass as well, because you also need the strategies and the skills that once you do draw in that great person, that you're not chasing them away with all of your emotional stuff, and that you learn how to kind of ride that roller coaster of emotion, and you learn how it feels to be in a healthy, authentic relationship, because a lot of us didn't get a great blueprint for that, And again, the evidence is in your life, How is it showing up in your life? So, yeah, I'd love to hear what fears and beliefs you think hold people back from their manifestation. Because here's the thing, you're always manifesting. You're always manifesting. Sometimes you do it consciously, and sometimes you're not conscious of what you're manifesting. That means that all of your thoughts and your feelings, even if you don't say them out loud, even if when you go and see your family at Christmas and they yet again Who's been there? Say, why aren't you with a boyfriend? When are you going to get a boyfriend? Or why aren't you married? When are you going to get married? Don't you think you're too fussy? Don't you think you're too this? Surely you should do that. Like, as if that's helping you any. Which we all know it's not. I forgot where I was going with that now. Oh, you're always manifesting. Even if when people ask you those things and you are able to put on a mask and say, well, you know, it'll happen when it happens. But inside, you're dying a bit, and it really hurts your heart, and it kind of cuts super deep. And when you're on your own, maybe you're even having a little cry about it, or you're feeling frustrated or angry. That emotion is so strong that it's sending the message out to the universe of lack, of I don't have love, and I can't have love, and I don't know what to do to get it. And here's the big thing. The universe only knows how to say yes. The universe is always saying yes. And the universe does have your back. Yet the universe only knows how to say yes. So if your vibration is, I'm a victim to life, nobody loves me, I'm going to be alone forever, you know what the universe replies? Yes. Because it's completely impartial. The law of attraction isn't biased. It can't be bribed. It's completely impartial. So if your vibration tells a story of hopelessness, of overwhelm, of shame, then you may well attract people in, but they'll be on the same vibration as you, and they'll have places in them, even if it's not, even if you don't see it in the beginning, and they'll have places of shame. They'll have places of hopelessness. They'll have places of overwhelm, and it will show up in your relationship. And that's the kind of relationships that you manifest, and that's why they don't last. Does it make sense? So that's why it's so important, so important not to skip doing the inner work. That's really where the answer to true love lies, because we can tell all these stories about how the dating world has changed, and it has, and it's changing rapidly, and it's not as transparent or as easy as it was maybe 5 years ago, certainly not 10 years ago. And we can tell the story that people don't want to commit anymore, and people don't want to stay together anymore. But actually what we find is that people get together every day, that people get married every day, that people are having families every day. And the question is, are you in alignment with that or not? You know, are you in alignment with that? Or are you still in alignment with the story that it's not going to happen for you and that it can't happen for you? And that's why it's really important just to notice these thoughts when they come in, so that you can shift them and beat them and start to be in appreciation again. Move up that vibrational scale and start to believe that the universe has got your back, and that there are so many possibilities for you. There's millions of partners, possible partners for you in the world, and maybe all you want is one. That's what I used to say. There's millions of people available. I just want one. The universe already knows what I need. I don't have to keep asking over and over and over again. I just have to get myself in alignment with that so that I can receive it. And then in divine timing, when it's right, it will happen. So have you got any questions for me? And I do invite you to have a look at how are you feeling on a day-to-day basis. Notice when your mind starts to wander, what kind of scenarios do you make up in your head? So, you know, sometimes it's when you're doing your washing up, sometimes it's when you're driving your car, sometimes it's when you're on your commute to work and you find that your mind's wandering. Is your mind wandering to positive stories that make you feel good? Or is your mind wandering into negative stories that make you feel bad? And that's the big difference. And when you start to shift that into something that makes you feel good, you're going to see your manifestations come in so much quicker. All right. So that's the big thing that The Secret doesn't talk about. I mean, do go and watch the film again. You can get it on Netflix now. It's so good. It's like definitely was a big part of my journey, over a decade ago. But it was a fantastic beginning, and then you move up from there. You can expand from there so much. So I'm going to go. I invite you, ladies, to join me on this 5-day journey, for this 5-day challenge, which is just going to get you super set up to draw in that soulmate super quickly. I'll put the link below, but I'll also come back to the video in a second, and I will put it above the video as well. It's completely free, and invite a sister friend. If you've got a friend who's single, send it to her as well, so we can all do it together. A few months ago, I took about 200 women through a process about creating high quality dates, and so many people have written to me since saying they've had great relationships. They're like with their soulmate, that they've manifested great dates, that they're being taken out to wonderful places, that they're meeting real gentlemen, and it's so lovely to hear, and I'd love for you to have that too. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm Jay Diamond, love and intimacy coach. You can find me at jaydiamond.net. You can find me on Facebook at Ms. Jay Diamond, and on Instagram at Lady J Diamond. Bye.